What's going on YouTube? This Gorilla Wayne. I'm holding it down here in Fort Worth, Texas. I found something interesting I wanted to put on YouTube. It's about the Wuhan lab, funded by the United States government. Fox News has it up, and they add a little bit more to the grapevine. This news comes straight out of Fort Worth. I know somebody that knows somebody that works for the railroad. They said that the railroad cars at his job had COVID-19 written all over the tanks. But they have removed them and put something else on there since the pandemic. Yeah, I don't know what they got. I don't know what they're doing, what they got in them tanks, or what they doing with those tanks, or whatnot, COVID-19 on them. I got some conspiracy theories. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know whether they're going up there spraying that shit or not. This message here is for the CIA. Please don't kill me. Yeah, tell me, just if you don't like it, just tell me to take it down. Yeah, that's all you got to do. Hey, if y'all like this message I'm about to show y'all, hit like and subscribe. Help a brother out. Y'all have a good, blessed day. Y'all have a good, blessed day.
All right, tonight, new details about that infamous lab in Wuhan tasked with studying gain-of-function research in coronaviruses before the pandemic. Now, this is amazing. Judicial Watch, I have the paper right here in front of me. I put it on Hannity.com. You can read it yourself. I'll center it for the audience at home. Now, they released a trove of documents related to an organization named the EcoHealth Alliance. You've heard me talk about this before. It details its role in funding the research with the help of course, the guy running the NIH. That would be your friend, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and our very own federal government. Now, according to one document, a specific aim of the research, now, I'm not a scientist, I'll let you interpret it. The specific aim was, quote, testing predictions of virus interspecies transmission. Very interesting. They mentioned the word human as well. I'll get to that. And it said, quote, creating mutant viruses to identify how significantly each would need to evolve to enter human cells. What could possibly go wrong with this science, right? Now, of course, we all know what went wrong. Now, we did reach out to the EcoHealth Alliance for comment. They denied the Judicial Watch report and told us that they did not support gain-of-function research in Wuhan and that the research that did not happen there could not possibly have started COVID. Really? Anyone here believe that? No. Joining us now with more, Florida Senator Marco Rubio. He has now introduced legislation to hold our government accountable for its role in this disaster. Senator, I have what the people at the EcoHealth Alliance put out. They say they didn't support gain-of-function research. Okay, I'm not a scientist, but I will say this. Why, in fact, did the NIH get a penny, a single cent for a Wuhan virology lab in China, our number one geopolitical foe? Number two, it sounds like they're playing with fire when you read the actual document and the drop by Judicial Watch. And three, I believe that we were lied to from the very beginning, that Anthony Fauci, the people that were telling us that this was a wet market issue and not a virology lab issue, were lying to us. What do you say?
Well, we're actually going to have more information. We're putting the finishing touches on it. It builds on the report that was released yesterday with actually even more evidence of the fact that something was going on in China. And we're going to be able to put this out there. We just got to get it cleared. That put it out, that something was going on in China well before it was even acknowledged that there was anything going on. And I think it adds credence to this whole lab leak theory. And it's not just the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Remember, there's a second place there called the Wuhan Institute of Health, which is also involved in this. This is a place that's had repeated accidents in the past. And so I think there's every reason to suspect that these two labs working on this kind of stuff also happen to be in the city where it began and have had accidents in the past. I think the likelihood that I agree with the FBI on this one. I agree with the Department of Energy on this one. The likeliest outcome here is that this was a lab accident covered up by the Chinese that, of course, have destroyed the world. And I want to make one other point, because I think you talk about the experts in general. You were talking earlier with John Solomon about these intellects. These are former intelligence officials, because we have these industries now of former officials, particularly in intelligence, but also in health, who, after they leave government service, go out there and offer up these opinions and rally together for political causes. Sometimes they're paid to do it. Sometimes they're doing it to help a candidate. And they are undermining confidence in all of our government institutions. We saw that in healthcare with COVID. We've seen it with intelligence, with some of the political activities that happened in 2020.
Senator, let me read to you, because we're talking about American tax dollars here. In their initial application for federal assistance, the Eco Alliance put out there that they wanted to propose to examine the transmission dynamics of bat coronaviruses across the human-wildlife interface, and how this process is affected by COVID's or coronavirus's evolutionary potential, and how it might force its evolution. And, quote, we will assess the nature and the frequency of contact among animals and people in two critical human-animal interfaces. Now, it sounds to me like they're playing with fire here. And again, right, we're talking about American tax dollars, millions of them, going with Anthony Fauci's approval. He's running the NIH through this Eco Alliance group. They say they're not involved in gain of function, but that sounds to me like they are playing a very, very dangerous game. And we now know the result of that game, don't we?
Yeah, so they can call it whatever they want. They can deny its gain of function. Here's what that means in English, which you just read. It means this. It means these are people that are saying, we wonder what would happen if this virus mutates into something that's infectious in humans. And they would argue we need that, because if we can predict how it's going to mutate, we can actually create a vaccine ahead of time. So to do that, you have to mess with the virus. Well, what happens if someone who's messing with it messes up and gets infected by it, and they go home and they give it to a bunch of people and it spreads like wildfire?
Well, wait a minute.
That sounds a lot like what happened in Wuhan.
But Senator, didn't Anthony Fauci say at the time, and didn't others government officials say at the time, that it most likely came from a wet market where they sold bats and other exotic animals?
Yeah, but here's the thing. When in SARS and MERS and all these other outbreaks, they've been able to produce the animal. Within 3, 4, 5 months, they've been able to say, here's the animal, here's the infection, we tracked it down. To date, to this moment, they have yet to come forward and say, here's an animal infected with this exact virus. They've not done that. This is the first time in all these other zoonotic infections. This is the one where they can't do it. And so you add that up with all these other things, and you start to conclude here that, in fact, this probably was a lab leak accident. Someone got infected. It now has spread across the world. And a totalitarian communist government in China doesn't want the world to know about it.
And the American taxpayer foot at least part of the bill. That is
right. And some of our scientific community have actually gone along with not getting out there because, frankly, they agree with this sort of research. They think it's a risk that we have to take.
Hey, 2012, Anthony Fauci said that he supported gain-of-function research, even if it resulted in a worldwide pandemic. That tells you, and this was 2013, the first initial application by EcoHealth Alliance.
He was ahead of his time then. He was ahead of his time. He predicted the future right there by doing that.
All right, Senator Rubio, please do us all a favor, the country a favor. Please get to the bottom of this. We appreciate you.
We'll have more next week.
What y'all think about that video? Like I said, I know someone who has a friend that works in the railroad. Hey, it's heard through the grapevine. We have COVID Railroad 19. Well, we used to have railroad tanks that had COVID-19 written on the tank. So they manufacturing this shit in Wuhan and they shipping it over here. Now, this just is conspiracy theory. Why would they be shipping it over here? Is it part of the chemtrails? They spraying it in the air? I don't know. Is it part of Big Pharma? Is it a flu virus going out of control? Is it something they used to do every year? Now the shit just went out of control? Is it something they used to do every year to make money off Robitussin and all this other shit and flu shots and to make money? Or did they just up the game on the COVID shot because we got Obamacare to kill off some sick people? A few weeks ago, a week or two ago, I felt a little itching in my throat. I asked my coworker. He said, I don't know where he lives at. He was in Arkansas. I was in Oklahoma. He felt itching in his throat too. And we got a new COVID virus coming out. I tested negative at home though. But what in the hell is going on? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna show y'all a few remedies I use. Vicks Vapor Rub. I use a CPAP machine. I put a drop of this. This is for a steam, for a steamer, so that you can have vapor steam in your house. You put a drop of this in the water and steam your house. Well, I put not even a drop, just a little tiny bit in my CPAP machine back, and it helps with cough. It helps with COVID too. It's menthol, active ingredient. Oh, camphor, cough suppressant. Okay. Another thing I use, colloidal silver. That's nano silver, microscopic silver, and water. Silver is a antibiotic, antibacterial. Don't drink it. If it worked good for you, don't get excited and drink it. It's some white folks that's purple now for doing that. This has a spray nozzle on the top of it. You get a cold, you get snot going on. You shoot some of this in your nose, it'll clear it up. Hell, I even breathed it. When I shoot it, I even breathed it down into my lungs. In case a little COVID get down there. You know what I'm talking about? Something else I use. Aged garlic extract. I feel a little taste of something. This, you can use this for your kids. Aspirin is a blood thinner, but you're not supposed to get rid of some of this. I got a lot of glare going on. There we go. Aged garlic extract. Now, garlic is a blood thinner. Aspirin is too, but you're not supposed to use aspirin for your kids. But I did see some children's ibuprofen. Your child gets sick with some COVID, give them a little taste of that. Not the whole dose, just a small dose, like a baby aspirin dose of that children's ibuprofen for when they sick with flu and cough. They get the COVID, give them some of this or some garlic extract. This shit works too. I tell you, this is just garlic. Hell, you can take 3. I take 2, 3, 4 garlics pills. As I feel myself coming down sick. People have trouble sleeping. Alka-Seltzer, cold and cough. This should have you sleeping good. I just take 1 tablet. It's got a lot of aspirin in it. Before I go to sleep, if I'm trying to go to sleep in the daytime, Alka-Seltzer, cold and cough nighttime. I don't take the one with the acetaminophen in it because acetaminophen is bad for your kidneys and liver. I just take the one with the aspirin in it. Sleep good, got plenty of aspirin. If you got any COVID blood clots, it'll knock all them COVID blood clots out. Well, if y'all got anything out of this video, like and subscribe, help a brother out. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all have a good day. May the Creator bless y'all through his son's blood. I'll holler at y'all later.